Hey guys, welcome back for another chapter. I'm going to continue reading a book called West or Mars, and we're going to go straight into chapter 4. So let's get into it. I had made fast work of my courtship of Dory, and I made fast work of the task of getting rid of her father. After our marriage, I gave him enough money to get blind drunk, and then we left town in a hurry. As much as she had grown to detest the old bum, Dory did not particularly approve of this trick, but she had surrendered to a love for me so complete she was willing to do anything I asked without question. I understand he died in jail soon afterward. Our match was not an unhappy one. I have no great capacity for affection, but I was not cruel to Dory. To win her in a hurry, I had to convince her I was desperately in love with her, and it was to my interest to continue this, the illusion. For my plans encompassed no continuation of the piddling little magic show she had put on with her father. I was a gambler, and with Dory at my side, a great field of opportunity lay before me. I don't know if you're familiar with the game of dice, Mr. Peachy. No? It's a very ancient and honorable game. The player with the dice rolls them. If a 7 or an 11 comes up, it's a natural, and he wins the bet and keeps the dice for another roll. If a 2, 3, or 12 turns up, it's craps, and he loses his bet, but keeps the dice for another roll. If any other number comes up, that's his point, and he keeps rolling the dice until either that number repeats or a 7 comes up. If he wins his point, he wins the bet and keeps the dice, but a 7 loses him both his bet and the dice. Dory's method of controlling the dice was to control one of them. When they are rolled, dice rarely stop at the same instant. She would let the first one stop, then kept giving the other the necessary mental push until it reached the number that gave the combination she wanted. Since the numbers on each die run from 1 to 6, 7 was the only number she could be sure of forcing. But if a point were set, she could prevent the dice from hitting 7 until the opportunity occurred to make the point. She was reluctant at first to use her ability in a way she felt was dishonest. But as I said, she had given herself up to adoration of me, and it took only a little affectionate persuasion to soothe her conscience into obedience. She did what I asked, and in remarkably short time we entered on a life of ease and luxury that was strange to both of us. No more for me the small-time gambler who folded on a bluff when only a few dollars were at stake. I knew where the big fish swam, and I went after them. Naturally, dice was my game. Since childhood, I had been an expert at cards, but cards do not lend themselves readily to psychokinetic manipulation. Without the additional talent of clairvoyance, and Dory had none of that, but how she could make those dice tumble. By the time the people who had both money and the gambling instinct realized I was one of those infallible phenomena to be avoided, we were rich beyond even my dreams. Suicide and paupers were left in our wake. It seems that for every advantage a man gains in life, he is faced with a corresponding disadvantage. He must pay the piper. Here I have wealth and West o' Mars without Dory. Well, I anticipate myself. You may not know it, Mr. Peachy, but even now I might find it dangerous to be back on Earth again. It certainly was advisable for me to leave Earth at that time, so some of the men I had broken had not been left without the means to avenge themselves on me. So Dory and I came to Mars. So guys, that was the ending of chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. So stay tuned for chapter 5. And thank you so much for listening. Bye. Hey guys, and welcome back for another chapter. I'm going to continue reading a book called West on Mars, and we're going to go straight into